The IFP has announced Velenkosini Hlabisa as the new party leader today. Hlabisa previously served as the party's Secretary General. He is currently the leader of the official opposition in KwaZulu-Natal's legislature. Hlabisa takes over the reins from Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, who has stepped down after being at the helm of the IFP for 44 years. This follows the IFP's national elective conference in Ulundi in northern KwaZulu-Natal. Well, for more in studio, we have a leadership expert, that's Dr Mazwe Majola. Good afternoon, Doc, and thank you for your time on the SABC News Desk.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Well, it appears to have been a smooth and well-managed transition for the IFP at this juncture. How did they get that right from a leadership perspective, Doctor?
Well, a very seamless, very smooth transition, yes. Well, it started about 6-7 years ago, yes, from 2012, and yes, they've managed to manage it so well that the succession plan at least is not that bruising, yes, but at least there were some challenges. The former chairperson, Dr Mazwe wanted, yes, to contest, yes, but they managed to neutralize him.
Yes, it turned out to be a non-factor at the conference.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yes,
he became as an opportunist, someone who, yes, left the party, went to different parties. Yes. When he had that, the prince will be stepping down, then he wanted to come back. Right. So at least the National Executive Council and the whole leadership of the IFP managed to neutralize him.
Well, Hlabisa taking over the reins from the prince, really no big surprise there, though. What do you think, Doctor, he brings to the IFP at this juncture, especially at a time when the party is dealing with splinter parties, some factionalism and infighting, like you mentioned?
Well, yes, it was not a surprise. There's a perception that he was really handpicked by Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, and you know, whether he was appointed or anointed, but he was not elected in terms of based on a democratical process where you find other people contesting as well. So he didn't fight to emerge as a winning leader. But again, it's not a bad thing.
Do you not think that hampers his credibility a little bit going into the party?
Well, there will always be that question and concerns that he didn't contest. Yes. He was handpicked. However, for the organization, it's good because obviously they managed the succession, yes, planning very, very carefully. You know, unlike the other organization like your PAC, where they've been fighting, yes, with a bruising fight in the last few years based on leadership positions. So at least the IFP chose to pick up one leader who's been there for long. I mean, he has been there since 1978, yes, and really he knows the organization, and there is a belief that he will take the organization to the pinnacle.
All right. So the prince was in charge of the party for 44 years, and now Hlabisa coming in. Is it going to be the same story around this time as well? Because one feels the need for new voices, a new vision, etc. At this point.
Look, it's not easy, you know, for someone who gave birth to this baby, and that is Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. He conceived it and he gave birth to it. He nurtured the baby from its inception until 44 years. So from toddler to adult, it's not an easy thing to live that life. Yes. But the age is against him. Yes. Hlabisa will have huge challenges because he needs to take this organization to another level. At the moment, the organization is still based in KZN. It's still a regional KZN political party. He needs to take it to the whole nation, or rather to the whole South African. So he must bring his own vision. He must bring his own passion and energy. He must bring or must transform the organization to intergenerational organization. At the moment, the organization is awash with old people,
and
more younger people.
And it does start to feel, Doctor, that you get a sense that the IFP is still dealing with a lot of identity politics, if you want to call it that, where it's still by and large seen very much as a Zulu party, but of course they've never identified themselves as such, not in any document.
Although it has always been like that, really.
It has again, it's the perception of that.
Absolutely, and it's a reality, whether documented or not, they've always been a Zulu regional-based party. Started as a cultural movement, as Inkatha Yenkululeko Yosizwe, when it was formed in 1975. That is why one of the best things that Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi was really to build this Zulu culture and values, and then he managed to restore it and to protect it. He managed to make the Zulu people to love who they are in terms of their culture. So I mean, he also managed to protect the Zulu monarch, and the Zulu king. You know, so it has always been the original party.
And one of the challenges for the party remains that it's not growing as it should be on the national front. Only locally and around KZN, like you mentioned. Now, in terms of the party's national expansion program that they undertook, what factors should they be looking at to expand effectively across the country? Just before the election, we saw IFP top brass really deployed across the nation, but it just feels like they left it a little bit too late. I mean, they've had 25 years to grow nationally.
Well, the new leader must take charge.
Yes.
Velenkosini Hlabisa must lead the organization. He must not become Buthelezi's shadow. He must not be a yes man. He must be a visionary. He must bring new, novel and fresh ideas to take the party into another level. He must bring that energy and passion. And Buthelezi must give Hlabisa space to lead the organization. It will always be, it's going to be challenging for him to really divorce him from the party. Yes, he can provide counsel, provide advices, but he must accept that there is a new leader now, and he must give him the space to lead. He must give him the space to introduce whatever he wants. And the people within the IFP must give the new leader space as well, because in situations like this, there will always be those who will constantly remind him that during Buthelezi's time, things were not done like this. You know, if Buthelezi was still with us, we'll be doing this. People must accept that we have a new leadership now. We've got a new leader, and he must be given opportunity and space to lead the organization.
Dr. Mazwe Majola, thank you so much for sharing those invaluable insights with us right here on the SABC News Desk.